I should have, but I could, so I did. Thanks to Fabiola de la Cueva, everyone knows her. She suggested the title. Again, she always suggests the title of my presentation. So we miss you, Fab, but you're with us a little bit with that title. It's my first non-technical presentation. Usually I like very long technical presentation, but today it's going to be non-technical and short. Anyway, thanks to Iker, I don't have time to introduce myself or whatever. So as usual, you can go to my website and my company website, and you'll find more information. There are all the recordings of my previous speeches at GDevCon, GLA Summit, and iWeek. So let's dive in. Anyway, this is kind of biography. Someone else did it already, so why not me? This is my life. Part of my life, at least. And this is where I discovered LabVIEW. I was preparing a senior technician diploma in physics measurements, and we had an instrumentation course of 6 hours per week during 2 years, and it was mostly LabVIEW, a little bit of CVI. So this is really my first exposed to LabVIEW. It was LabVIEW 7 Express at that time. At the end of this courses, I had a 3 months internship, and I had to develop a cognitive rehabilitation device for children with multiple disabilities. The idea was to reconnect some area of the brain with their external environment through hearing. Some children, you couldn't even touch them, right? They wouldn't handle it. So the idea was to recreate some sort of environment with highly focused sound, still visual contact with the doctor, but no physical contact at all. They would not handle it. So I built that in my parents' garden. I was 19 years old. UIs looked like that. It was not too bad. Be careful with the diagram. I'm not sure you've ever seen beginner's LabVIEW code on such a gigantic screen, so some of you might be hurted by that. Of course, there are things you don't want to do in this diagram if you're promoting good LabVIEW practices, but we can see some design patterns already, so it was not that bad. Anyway, that project was still a success. The year after, they ordered... Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. The year after, they ordered 2 additional units, and that's exactly how I started my company, Studiobods. And as of today, these units are still in use and helping children. The year after, I did my bachelor's degree. I moved to Paris, and it was in engineering of automated testing of electronic systems. And it was a partnership with NI. NI equipped a room with all kind of hardware, DAG, vision, motion, real-time, FPGA, compact Rio, PXI chassis, and everything they had, they put in that room for us to play and learn with it. And we learned databases, design patterns. It was LabVIEW everywhere, and that's really when I became proficient with LabVIEW. Then I moved to Canada, from France to Canada, to do my master's degree in the research group on speech and audio. And I remember the class of mathematics. We had to recreate some demonstration of math functions, like an interpolation, using computer programming. And everyone in the class was using MATLAB, right? They all learned MATLAB during their bachelor degree, and I didn't. So guess what I used? LabVIEW. And the teacher was nice enough to look at my work, my exercise, and with a well-documented code and a graphical programming language, his brain magically was able to understand my work. And I think that's part of the beauty of LabVIEW. And of course, I did all my research project using LabVIEW. The goal was to investigate the correlations existing between the perception of the audio quality and the physiological signals of a listener. So we had a LabVIEW real-time server with video recording, a lot of body signals taken from the body, And on another room, we have a desktop computer to run the test recipe, monitor everything, the signal, etc. And yeah, the idea was to try to correlate the quality of the encoding system of the sound through the physiological reactions. And you cannot imagine how I enjoyed developing a quite large client-server application with LabVIEW with such a large amount of data transiting to a single internet cable. And to me, it was really magic, really. I'm an engineer, yoo-hoo. And a very good friend of mine who finished his civil engineering degrees a few years earlier and who took over his father on the construction family business. I'm going to use some chairs since they have it. He asked me, hey Matt, you learn computer programming, right? Yeah. Would you be able to create, when I build a house, would you be able to create some Excel sheet where I put all the dimensions of all the parts of the house and it would calculate everything I need to purchase with the price, the dimensions, everything? With LabVIEW, I'm not sure, but yeah, let's see what with Excel, not sure, but let's see what I can do with LabVIEW. And this is exactly how a civil engineer and myself, we created this software. And really the pain point for him was to quote a new house. It was taking a lot of time, and with that system, powered by LabVIEW of course, it became really quick and straightforward to quote a new house. And my friend had a lot of ideas, and we didn't stop there. So we started from the blueprint created by the architect with the customer. We take all the measurements or all the parts of the house or the building. We put that into the software, and we can get basically the bill of materials. Then we decide which contractors we want to invite to bid on the project, and the system will send automated emails to all of them, giving access to a secured online portal where they can see all the documents, all the blueprints, everything they need to create a price and bid on the project. Then we have everything basically to create a beautiful estimate, very detailed estimate, and at this point they know exactly how much money they will make, profit and margin calculation upfront. At this point, we have everything in the system to generate a beautiful contract document. We know the address, the timeline, the various contacts, the architect, the project manager, everything is there, so we can automatically generate a beautiful contract ready to be signed by the customer. Then when the project starts, we're ready to schedule the various resources. It's an auto-attended system, so of course you cannot schedule the carpenter who puts the door before the mason who creates the foundation, right? If there is any set down during the construction, the system will automatically reschedule all the impacted contractors and notify them automatically. The employee on the construction site, they can directly fill their timesheet from their phone, thanks to GWeb development coupled to LabVIEW web services. They have a web app to do that from site to site. The foreman also has a dedicated web app built with LabVIEW and GWeb to create daily reports, attach pictures, comments. Those reports are sent to the office for validation. It's used also to consolidate the data from the employee timesheets, the invoice coming from the contractors. We also use the employee timesheets to automatically generate all the payroll at the end of the month, or every 2 weeks, because there they pay every 2 weeks. As the construction moves forward, we can generate payment requests based on the progress of each specific row of the original estimate, and there are a lot of laws and regulations regarding payment requests and retains and all that, so it creates all that automatically. And at the end, all the financial information of the project is automatically transmitted to the accounting system of the company, saving a lot of time, avoiding the need to re-enter the same data multiple times, and avoiding errors, of course. And all that with the power of LabVIEW. And this customer was my first customer, except the rehabilitation device. And this was my friend also. He's still my customer and he's still my friend, which is good. We've built that over the past 10 plus years, and we continue to add features all the time. It's a living software. We add features, we add capabilities. With that customer, I always have around 1 year of work in my backlog for new features, new capabilities, nice to have. So whenever I have some downtime in my company, I can just go to look at this backlog and do some stuff. So I never have downtime actually. Before having this infrastructure, his company was making about $2.5 million a year, and 5 years after the first version, it was about $6 million income a year. 10 years after using the first version, it came to $13 million. Of course, it's not all because of the software I wrote, right? But without that, it would never have been able to grow like that and to take the kind of projects he's able to take now. And if you believe I only have one customer like that, you're wrong. Because this guy has an electrician, has a plumber, and when they saw that, they all came to me. Can you make something for me? Today, I have 6 customers, almost 7, for which I invoice LabVIEW consulting time every month. And on those 7 customers, 5 of them hired Studiobods to do some ERP or CRM software with LabVIEW. I just moved from Canada to France permanently 3 months ago, and I needed a plumber. I went to the street where I live, I found a plumber, and it was a mess. I immediately see the need for a software. They were using papers, etc. And in less than 3 weeks, I sold them 360 hours LabVIEW development ERP software. And I know exactly the end of the story. It's going to be the same. He's an electrician. All the guys are going to see that and come to me, and I'm going to have a lot of troubles. Please, all of them. So other companies choose LabVIEW usually to create automated test benches and test and system measurements. What I'm doing, I choose to do it. This is what I wanted to do, right? It's not by default. I wanted to do that. And LabVIEW allowed me to do it in a very, very competitive way. LabVIEW, it's not a tool. It's not a toy. Listen, Anai, LabVIEW requires programming. When I hear Anai marketing says, yeah, no programming required, blah, blah, blah. No. LabVIEW, it's not only for automated tests, it's not only for measurement and validation, and it's not only for scientists and research. LabVIEW is a programming language. LabVIEW is a graphical programming language, which makes it very unique. And in my opinion, thank you, it makes it very competitive compared to other programming languages because it's graphical, especially when you do things like UIs, parallel code execution. In this project that I have described, we use LabVIEW, so it can connect with a lot of third-party tools, a lot of programming languages. We have a lot of databases. We communicate with TCP/IP. We generate Office documents. We talk with the various Outlook instances on the desktop computers, all that using ActiveX. Yeah, ActiveX, but it works. We place automated calls, and we automatically receive calls using some .NET DLLs. From LabVIEW, we run Azure PowerShell scripts using system exec to automate Microsoft Exchange, which then also communicates with Outlook. We use the HTTP palette to leverage existing web services such as Google Maps, very easy, very convenient in the construction. The weather API, we log all the weather in all the daily reports. We use the Microsoft Graph API, which then talks to Microsoft Exchange, which then again talks to Microsoft Outlook. So all that is integrated. We create programmatically calendar invites, calendar events, emails, all that again with the power of LabVIEW. So my message today is that choosing LabVIEW as your main programming language shouldn't have any impact on what you'll do with it. There are other careers with LabVIEW than just test and measurement. So do what you enjoy the most. Thank you.